Welcome to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. On the morning of August 23rd, 2022, Amazon Prime released a new trailer for their bastardized Lord of the Rings of Power series. And immediately after the video showed up on YouTube, Tolkien fans began to slam it with dislikes. So much so that as of approximately 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 23rd, the trailer had over 23,000 dislikes and just over 8,300 likes. So right out of the gate, the latest trailer for The Rings of Power was already being heavily ratioed. But it gets even better, because as of 3:24 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 23rd, which is when I captured these screenshots, in case you were wondering, the total number of dislikes for the trailer had jumped from 23,000 dislikes to over 65,000 dislikes, while the likes only grew to around 18,000. That was an increase of 42,000 dislikes, meaning that the trailer was being ratioed even more. But it didn't end there, because as of 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 23rd, the total number of dislikes grew to a whopping 116,000 dislikes, while the likes only grew to 20,000. In other words, in 2.5 hours, the total number of dislikes grew by 51,000, while the total number of likes only grew by 2,000. Then, as of around 7:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 23rd, the total number of dislikes had grown again to 140,000, while the likes grew to 21,000. So in 1 3/4 hours, the total number of dislikes grew by another 24,000, while the likes only grew by 1,000. So with the showrunners, the producer, and even the cast members of this billion-dollar budgeted bastardization of legendary J.R.R. Tolkien's immortal creation of Middle-earth, now calling Tolkien fans every possible ist name they can think of, the fans have responded in kind by once again rejecting this upcoming piece of total crap that is not from the mind of Tolkien. The Lord of the Rings of Power is what showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay have dreamed up by taking ideas from Tolkien and bastardizing them into a total piece of crap designed to promote identity politics, not the world that J.R.R. Tolkien created, and all of Tolkien's fans know this. The cast members have effectively all admitted to this, especially actress Sophia Nomvet, who gave this very self-aggrandizing interview.
Tell me a little bit more about Princess Disa and the fact that you are the first black woman to be a dwarf in Tolkien, the first woman to be a dwarf in Tolkien.
So let's clarify something right now. Yes, there are dwarven women in Tolkien. Gimli, in Peter Jackson's 2002 film, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, said, "It's true, you don't see many dwarf women." And this in turn has given rise to the belief that there are no dwarf women and that dwarves just spring out of holes in the ground. J.R.R. Tolkien only ever named one dwarven woman in Middle-earth's history, a royal dwarf by the name of Dis, and although she's mentioned briefly, it's known that she was Thorin Oakenshield's sister, as well as a mother to Fili and Kili from The Hobbit. The only other known fact about her is that she was born in the Lonely Mountain and managed to flee during Smaug's attack. And all of this occurred during the Third Age of Middle-earth, and was quite clearly where Payne and McKay derived the name of their fake character, Disa. But let's go on with this horrible interview.
Well, what do we learn about woman dwarves that we didn't know through your portrayal?
Well, we learned that they exist.
Does she mean like this female dwarf character in Peter Jackson's 2012 film, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey? or the ones seen distantly at the start of the flashback showing Smaug's attack on Erebor, or this female dwarf seen in several frames fleeing from Erebor during the attack flashback? Or how about this second female dwarf also fleeing during Smaug's attack? Or maybe this third blurry female dwarf fleeing in the same scene? You mean none of these female dwarves from Peter Jackson's film exist, even though the actresses playing them have names like Melanie Carrington and Jen Lang, who are both credited in the film on IMDb? Why, gosh golly gee willikers, does that mean Sophia Nomvet is lying or just totally clueless?
There.
And thank you so much, Angelique, for noticing and acknowledging the fact that this is the first time that we see a woman and the first time that we see a black woman in this area and this world and these works of Tolkien, you know.
So now it sounds like she thinks that she's the first female character to ever appear in Tolkien. Has she casually forgotten about Cate Blanchett as Galadriel, Liv Tyler as Arwen, Sarah McLeod as Rosie Cotton, or the other female elves and hobbits shown in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy from 2001 through 2003, as well as his Hobbit trilogy movies? This is such a ridiculous interview, and even other shill media sites have reported the same lies.
This is necessary. This is a revolutionary moment for cinematic and television, and it is an honor to be a host of that. What we see is a great amount of relatability with DC.
The Lord of the Rings books alone have been published in dozens of different languages, and there are numerous editions that have been read and loved by millions of adoring fans for nearly 70 years. For Sophia Nomvet to say that her fake character of Princess Disa is relatable when Tolkien never created her particular character, and his works are well proven to be relatable without her help or anyone else's for that matter, is just utterly false. And right now, as of August 28th, 2022, at around 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the total number of dislikes on Amazon's latest trailer for their Rings of Power bastardization of J.R.R. Tolkien has more than doubled since the last screenshot I took on August 23rd to over 355,000 dislikes, while the likes have only risen up to 36,000. Hence, in 5 days, the total number of dislikes for this trailer has grown by 154%, while the total number of likes over the same period only grew by 71%. This means that the growth rate of dislikes on the trailer is more than double of what the growth rate is for the likes. No amount of defense or attacks on Tolkien fans by Amazon, showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, producer Lindsay Weber, members of the show's cast, or the shill media is going to alter the public's very negative perception of Amazon's upcoming billion-dollar dumpster fire of a series. Tolkien fans aren't going to watch it, plain and simple. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.